Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up. We always get started with our weather, brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. Always go by there, get a chance, and check out all the programs they have. I mentioned the other day that the welding program is going to try to start putting together some fish cleaning benches and maybe selling those as a fundraiser. And we're going to talk to Eric Johnson about that pretty soon. Maybe have him on the show and talk about it. It's a good idea. One of those win-win situations. You can get a nice fish cleaning bench at a really decent price and save some money, and also help the school out in a fundraiser. But we'll be talking about that later. Weather today now, it looks nice. It's going to be a high of 82 and a low of 65, plenty of sunshine. The water temperature stays at around 73 degrees and starting to get a little bit more bait fish showing up, and the bay's looking a lot better out there for bait fish. Our river readings, take a look at our river readings, the river's looking nice now, folks. We're getting in some really good fishing situations here. It's still a little high at 9.2. It's sort of leveling out. Looks like for the weekend it's going to be level, but around 9 foot. The Choctawhatchee has just been a nice, slow, steady drop. It's reading a 4.6, and Friday and Saturday looks good, right around maybe even below 4 foot, maybe 3.5 foot. So good weekend on both rivers, and a good weekend as far as weather-wise, it looks like. So go ahead and start making some plans to do some good outdoor activity. Take a look at our tide chart, brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemeteries. We're into some really good tides here. We're looking at today's Thursday, May 16th. That's our third Thursday. We're right in the middle of the month. And we're looking at a high tide right around noon at 12:49. Right after lunch will be a high tide. And then it's going to start falling. It's going to fall about midnight at 11:49. So 12:49 is a high tide and 11:49 is a low tide. So if you want to fish an incoming tide, you got a choice of fishing all morning. You want to fish an outgoing tide, you got a choice of fishing in the afternoon. So good, strong, got a 1.8 foot range, really good tide there, okay? The marine forecast southeast at 10 to 15, so have a little bit of a breeze out there, but that's something you can work with at southeast, okay? All right, that's our weather. Let's take our first break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Now listen, I don't know, I've told a lot of you folks I see out in different places and all how much I enjoy doing this show. I just want to tell you, it's just a lot of fun doing the show. I just enjoy spreading all this good news and talking about good things and all. I think if I was a news broadcaster, I probably wouldn't enjoy it early in the morning talking about all the bad stuff happening all around us. But I really get a kick out of maybe spreading joy or whatever, and getting a lot of folks doing outdoor things, getting all the feedback from people. I did this and I did that on outdoors this weekend. It sort of just dovetails in what I do during the day with the young people. So I consider it an honor to come into your living room every morning and all. I appreciate you watching the show, and I just want to pass that on to you. Okay, now one of the advantages of this time of year, we're getting into our longer days and all, and one of the reasons, of course, we're coming up into this is May, we're about 2/3 of the way through spring. And take a look on this chart here, we're getting ready for the summer solstice, June 21st, which is a little bit over a month from now, but we're about right in here. And then you see where the summer solstice, that's would be the longest days of the year and all. So we got a good situation as far as some long days. A lot of times people get off work at 3 or 4 or 5 or something. You're still going to have a lot of time to do some outdoor activities if you're not too tired and all, and have the opportunity and can squeeze it in. So this is a great time of the year. Now, another thing, too, I keep every year talking about the May full moon. I know I showed this on the show Monday. I want to show it again. We got a full moon coming up next weekend. I just want to encourage you, the May and June full moon for freshwater fishermen are the 2 biggest full moons of the year. So if you can arrange to do some fishing around a couple of days before that full moon, or maybe a couple of days after, if not, try to hit it really hard. Next Saturday should be an excellent time to do some really serious freshwater fishing if you're really into that. Now, one of the things I'd mentioned when Ronnie was on yesterday, we talked about bow fishing, and it's becoming popular again. A lot of good targets out there, and it's one of those things we started. I started bow fishing when I was a teenager. I just had a very elementary way we did it. And I would get on a trestle, that's a railroad track across Teloja Creek, and those little guards would be sitting up there, man, I would pop them. Somehow somebody took a picture. I don't know if my brother took this picture or who took this picture, but at one time, now that guard was a lot bigger at one time. That was about a 6-foot guard, I used to tell people, but it shrunk up when I walked across the track with it. But that's in my left hand. I don't know if you can see my left hand. There's a bow. You can see the little reel. You see the little reel on it right there, and that was old fiberglass shaft there. And it was a challenge because we were up on a bridge trestle, and it really became a challenge because you sort of had to allow for the arrow as the arrow drop, and then of course when the arrow hits the water, there's a refraction there, so it's going to hit the water and then go up. So it's really, but once you get hooked on it, it's a lot of fun. So Ronnie was talking about all the people getting back into it and equipment now. Same basic equipment, just a little nicer, a little more streamlined and all. So if you get a chance to do some bow fishing, and this summer I was thinking it might be fun to try. I'll tell you what would be fun, try to hit these mullet, if you get a mullet jumping, stand on the end of a dock or something, and we see them coming down and try to nail one jumping. Now that'll be a lot of fun. So we may work on that this summer and all. Okay, got an email here. Let me share this with you from Doug Lurie. He said, "Hey Winston, that was a great tip you gave yesterday. I never would have thought about a lead having 3 sides. Remember when I did the pyramid weight, one had 3 sides and one had 4 sides. He said, I never would have thought about one having 3 sides and one 4. I've been using mostly leads. I've been using 4-ounce leads, and a lot of people use those 4-ounce leads because you can really get them out. Most of the time, I fish in rough surf and try to fish on my boat on calmer days. That's a good game plan right there. But I'm going to take your advice and use the smaller leads, 1 and 2 ounce when possible. Plus, they are cheaper. Thanks, Doug Lurie. I appreciate that email, Doug. And just to rehash what I'm talking about, remember I had those leads. They were both 2 ounces, but they're different sizes. Optical illusion, one looked bigger than the other. Anytime you can go lighter in fish and tackle, whether it's fresh water or salt water, if you can just go lighter and still catch the same amount of fish, I would certainly recommend doing that. So, and it's all dictated though by the weather. If it's a rough surf and all, you really got to get it out there. And you got to have it sit there, because if you got those waves up here, you're gonna have that undertow down here, and you got that little 2 ounce lead. It's gonna knock it all around. It just won't be still. So it's good to try to have a little bit heavy weight on that. Okay. All right. Let's take this break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Now let's get into some pictures. Y'all are really good about getting pictures to us, and we're going to share them with our viewing audience. And we'll start with the first one. It's Kurt Davis and his fishing group the other day. Really had a good day. He caught some kings and Spanish. Good job there, Kurt Davis. All right, how about some freshwater pictures? Oh, Randy Beavis. A lot of y'all know Randy. He owns JR's Barbecue up there in Lynn Haven. Randy's a good fly fisherman. Always has been since he was a teenager. Loves to fly fish, and he got these the other night. And good picture. That's a good mess of brim. All right. I was telling you, flounder in. This is a good mess of flounder. Michael Hatcher got these pictures in. Okay. Let's move on over. Now you're talking about another good mess of fish. Check out these speckled trout and the big redfish. Matt Mandeville. Fishing with some folks and all. That's some pretty healthy speckled trout. I've heard some really good reports on the speckled trout. Okay, now cobia season's still not quite over. It is, it's been pretty. It's sort of slowed down a little bit. This is Ryan Huggins and August Redding for 2 nice cobia this past weekend. Good job there, boys. Now, how about some freshwater fishing in the Sand Hill Ponds? That is just a really, that's Matt Cox, and that's a pretty picture. Those Sand Hill Ponds, now I'm telling you, they have some nice bass in them. All right, let's go down to the river. Matt Thurlow and his grandpa fishing on an old houseboat down on the river. It just don't get any better than that. Good job there. Some nice fish there. I know they sat there on that houseboat and had a big old fish fry. Good job, Matt Thurlow. Okay, now this is a redfish. Ernie Cabot, sight fishing up around Burnt Mill Creek. Isn't it amazing the different opportunities we have? Okay, this is sent to us. This is a female wood duck sitting on the egg. This springtime, folks. Kenny Bostick sent this picture in. and those eggs will be hatching pretty soon. Have a bunch of little ducklings there. Now let's go into this right here. I want to check out the Emerald Coast Redfish Club. I want you to look at this. This is a nice little schedule right here for folks want to fish these redfish tournaments and don't want to spend a lot of money and travel a lot of places. This is well, May 18th. We're looking at actually this weekend. They're going to be fishing out of Destin. Then they do it once a month. It's a good organization. I've met the folks over there. They're out of Fort Walton. A lot of Panama City boys fish it. But Panama City, June the 8th. July the 13th is Navarre. Then back to Destin. And September 28th, Panama City. Then on October 19th in Pensacola. That's an ideal situation to set up right there. That's called the Emerald Coast Redfish Club. I have this email here. If you want to go online, look at it. It's called theredfishclub.com. That's all one word. theredfishclub.com. There's a relatively small tournament. They get about 20 boats to enter it. It's a great little tournament. You just want to get your feet wet in the fishing. There's a bunch of local people, and you don't have any ringers coming in. And they'll start at safe daylight is when they start fishing, at safe daylight, and the weigh-ins at 3 o'clock. And we certainly want to try to cover one of these weigh-ins pretty soon. And I know we covered some before and all. It's a good little situation. There are a bunch of locals fishing, and I think you'll enjoy it if you want to get into redfish tournament fishing or a little bit of competition there. It's a good situation. The Emerald Coast Redfish Club, okay? So check it out online. Now, I had an email the other day. One of the viewers wanted to see when you tie two lines together, we use a blood knot, and I couldn't find one video they were asking for. So I've got this video here of me showing. I've showed them before, but it's still, a lot of times some of y'all miss it all the first time. So it's going to be a good opportunity to look again on when you have two lines and how to tie them together using a blood knot. Okay, Jeff, let's roll this video. Hi folks, today I'm out of my garage. I'm in my little place I call my tackle corner. I got all my junk here. A lot of times I like to come out here and just piddle around and do stuff. I was thinking, I would like to show you all how to tie some knots. I'm just going to do one at a time. We're going to start off today on a blood knot. Now I teach knot tying to my outdoor ed class. We spend about three days on a little knot tying unit. And I've learned over the years the best way to teach knot tying is you don't hold it out in front of you and try to teach someone because everything's reversed. So I'm going to let the camera come in from behind me, and also you don't use monofilament line or braided line in teaching somebody how to tie a knot. Over the years I've developed this little lesson plan where I just show them in different colors and all, and I really let the kids teach each other too. So today we're going to talk about a blood knot. That's a very important knot in outdoors. That's when you're tying two lines together. So let's give it a try. I've got these two different colors laying right here on my bench, and what I'm going to do now, the blood knot, hopefully you can see this. And what you want to do is get plenty of it to work with and overlap it like this. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I've got the two lines laying down. I'm going to get up both lines, and I'm going to hold both of them between my thumb and forefinger of my left hand. I'm going to wrap this around 5 times, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to take what I have left, okay, which is called a tag end, right there to the right, and bring it right here through this little loop I formed, okay? That's all I'm going to do right there. Now I'm going to do with this other color line, I'm going to wrap it 5 times. I'm going to switch hands. I'm ambidextrous. 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this little loop I have right here, where I have it through here, okay, I'm going to bring it back through the same way with the lime colored line, alright, and then I'm going to just grab the ends, both ends I've taken through there, okay, and then just going to pull it, start tightening it up, okay. You can watch it. It's really cool to watch it tighten up. A lot of times you have to hold the line though so it won't get too come all the way out. But see, it start tightening up. Okay, so now I'm going to hold it right here. Tighten this end right here. Tighten this end right here. And then it starts pulling together. Okay. And it'll end up just like, look at there. That's a pretty knot in it. Okay. That's a blood knot. Now that ain't coming apart. I promise you. Okay. Now, I got some scissors over here. I always trim the ends a little bit. Okay. And then after you cut it, it's going to end up looking like this right here, okay? Like I said, good and tight and really neat line. And you can just cut up how much tab you want, okay? That's called a blood knot. Okay, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Let's get on this segment and get started really quick with the fishing game forecast today, brought to us by Mark Howard of Edgewater Beach Realty. Any real estate needs between Carabel and Destin, give Mark a call at 832-6000. And we're looking at our times today. Excellent times, 5:34 to 7:34. Good time to be on the water this morning, 5:34 to 7:34. Get there before the breeze kicks in. Or later on this afternoon, 5:57 to 7:57. Okay, those times right there are important. Also, I want to go ahead and put this back up here real quick. Just Pokio is we still want to promote it. Panhandle outdoor kids enjoying the outdoors. That's just a big deal to us. So if you get a chance to get something set up, I know it's not summertime yet, but summertime right around the corner. Go and start making some summer plans for your Pokio activities. Okay, it's very, very important. Now we're going to get set back up. One of the things, if you still enjoy hunting and can't get enough of it, I want to encourage you. There's still some hunting opportunities out there. And this hog hunting over there has really become popular. Hog hunting at night with these night vision scopes and all. A lot of folks are doing it, and it's a lot of fun. And hope to get a chance to do it pretty soon myself. But it's a thrill, and that's one of those win-win situations where they're really helping out. They got a call from a farm the other night over in Graceville where some hogs, they planted the seed down the road, and the hogs that come in at night and just went right down the road. You know what I'm talking about? Just with their snout, they went right down the road, just eating the seed. But the plant had come up about that high, so it takes care of the hogs and help the farmers out. Okay, I got a couple more quick pictures. I didn't get to finish the pictures last segment, so let's look at these pictures. Scott Lindsay sent me these pictures. That is a nice flounder right there. And then he passed on the next picture. Folks, this is a 7-pound pompano caught in the surf. Now, Scott said it's caught over there in Gulf Breeze. He sent to him. This was sent to Scott, and Scott just sent it to me right away. So we're going to get it on air. There was 7 pounds, 0.3 ounces. Now, we're only talking about, from the state record, we're only talking about the state record like 8.2 pounds. So it's really amazing what size that is. Caught in the surf now. That's really something. We'll try to get more details on all that was done on that. Now, I want to pass this on to you. I just got this, and I really want to, I know you can't read this, but I want you to sort of see the bulletin, and then I'm going to read it to you. It's from NOAA Fisheries. New requirements for Gulf of Mexico gray triggerfish, okay? Now, wait, I want you to read right there. In the middle of the page, 2 fish recreational daily limit, okay, from June the 1st through July the 31st, okay, for commercial. I mean, what they're doing, let me just read it to you, okay? I can probably read it to you better than we do there, okay? The NOAA, this is on the May 9th, 2013 meeting. They established a 12-fish commercial trip limit and a 2-fish recreational daily bag limit. It also establishes an annual fishing season closure from June the 1st through July the 31st. That's for the gray triggerfish. Okay, that's the triggerfish we fish for. Now this is federal. This is federal outlines right here. The state, now the commercial trip, what the state's going to do, and I'm going to have FWC on here. They're going to close it effective on June the 10th, okay, 2013. So it is really they figured out the gray triggerfish is actually being overfished, and they have scientific evidence of this, of course, and that would be June the 1st through July 31st. That's the heart of the season right there. That's when a lot of people are out snapper fishing. A lot of times. Most of the time, the triggerfish is a bycatch. It's not a lot of people go out and target triggerfish. So in these head boats and all, it's going to be, a lot of people get to keep the triggerfish on head boats, but not this year. They've come out. NOAA's come out with that declaration, and we'll get a lot more detail and explain it a lot better. But I just wanted to share that part with you. That there is going to be some changes on that gray triggerfish. So just be aware of that. And I know, we talk about red snapper season is right around the corner. We're looking at June the 1st, and I'm excited about it. We have a trip with Billy Archer on the Seminole Wind, and I'm just excited. Just hopefully our weather will permit us to get out where we always want to go, and Billy always puts us on good spots. And the key to catching red snapper now, it's easy. Anybody can do it. But the key now, when you get a commercial trip like this or a charter boat, you want to catch some big red snapper. So you sort of got to fight through those others, and so a lot of times a bigger red snapper on the top, and so you get different ways to fish with red snapper. And we're certainly, I'll be going to the boys from Gulf Power, and I really am looking forward to it. And then about a week after that, I'll have my tarpon trip to Boca Grande. So my summer is going to start off good in June. Then right around the corner, getting back in some June fishing, July 1st will be here with scallop season. So like I say, I was talking about doing that Pokio earlier, and you're talking about doing some good stuff with kids. So we've got a lot of things coming on in June, but May's not over yet. We've got a lot more good things to do in May. But getting back to red snapper, I was talking to some guys who were fishing the other day, and what they're trying to do, and everywhere you stop, there's red snapper. What they're trying to do is just keep away from any kind of bait, cigar minnows or anything like that. Just using jigs and dropping the jig down, trying to get the jig to go down through that first layer and second layer of snapper, get down there and the bottom, and just try to jig and catch your grouper with a jig. Because a lot of times a snapper won't hit the jig to start off with, but later on they will, because I talked to some guys after I talked to this fishing party over here, and they had the same problem. They said the snapper started hitting the jig, and then they tried different heights in the water, and the snapper was still hitting the jigs there. So, but it would be a lot of folks are trying to do that now. So all kind of ways you can mix up your fishing technique and all, and to experiment with. And I like to do that myself. Even on a charter boat, I like to use different baits and maybe fish different heights and all that. I want to encourage you to do those kind of things. Okay, gonna wrap it up now. Tomorrow we have tomorrow's a big day, of course. Have the famous Friday fishing forecast, and have Brad Stevens be on from Sunjammers, and a giveaway for Tarpon Rock Seafood, all kind of big things happening. So, again, appreciate you watching the show. You do something good for somebody today. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.